Presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Hello, everybody. My boy Erik, oh, I love you so much, will share tips and give some guidance on how to effectively communicate and relate with other people during our awakening process. And then he's going to answer our questions. Now, it reminds me of this guy who I love. He's a YouTuber. What is his name? He's really funny. He has long red hair. J.P. Sears. Yes.
Yes.
Because he acts like he's all enlightened. He's sitting on the steps talking about how enlightened he is. And then somebody comes down the steps and brushes him accidentally and bumps him. And JP gets upset and says, oh, he's so unawake, or something like that. He's so not awake. All right. So I thought it was funny. You guys go check out JP Sears, Sears. Funniest YouTube channel around.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hilarious.
Erik, what you got, my boy? Tell us, how can we relate to people without saying he's so unawake? What can we do instead?
It says, Mom, I love you. I love you.
I love you so much.
He's saying hi to everybody. He's sending out a great big, he's like calling it group hug. He's like group hug for everybody. So he's bringing you all in. And so part of why he wanted to talk about this tonight is he says that there's a lot of people listening and that will be listening that are going through or have recently gone through some challenges with relationships. And, you know, whether it's somebody that you work with or more particularly somebody that's in your family, is it, you know, a friend, a loved one, is it your partner? And he says this can be really difficult because whether you are awakening, you're new to your awakening process, or whether you've been on this journey for a while, this is something that we all come on to. It's something that we all face at some point or another. And he's really speaking about, he says, yeah, he's speaking pretty fast too. He says, you know, the thing is navigating with your relationships is probably the most important work that we'll do during our own personal journey. And he says, you know, it's really important because it is our awakening that's okay. So he says, he's just going to back me up for a second here. He says, if you look at the situation with yourselves and say, whatever created your awakening, so whether it was a death of a loved one, a job loss, a serious illness, a divorce, a major change in your life, no matter what it was, he goes, two things are happening. So for the people in your life, whether, you know, it's happened to you, something is also happening to them because they're now looking at you as a completely different version, especially if you've been on your awakening process for a little bit. So it's either coming on slowly or it's been a really big sudden change. And so Erik says, first of all, he says, you know, the most important thing to remember is that the people that you have in your life, your friends, your family, your loved ones, particularly the people that give you the most grief or that you feel give you the most grief, he says those are the people that you, before you incarnated into this life, you sat down with these people and you said, hey guys, guess what? I'm going to work through some of these issues and I'm going to help you work through some of these other issues. And you're going to trigger me to start to think about this and to start to do that. And he says, so you worked out contracts with these people. And he says, that's something that can be very hard to accept, especially when, you know, you're going on and he says, when you're in a really high vibration and you're really going on your spiritual path and you're having a lot of enlightening information, and he says, and then all of a sudden you come in contact with somebody that just pulls you right down. And he said, but the thing is, he says, what they're teaching you is they're teaching you to be able to keep your own vibration going, to have you look at yourself and to focus at yourself and to not be dragged down by somebody else. But he said the other thing is, too, a lot of people will take responsibility for their friends and family members or for their spouse and say, well, I'm on this path, I'm learning all this stuff, but they're not. And they're in a completely different place. And Erik says, guys, don't take on the responsibility of somebody else's awakening. He goes, you are not responsible for it, no matter how close you are. And he says, know that on a natural progression, that the ones around you are naturally going through a process without you even saying anything. It happens on a vibrational level without you even talking or telling them anything. So he says you'll do a lot more for them by focusing on yourself, by focusing on your own process, than you will by turning to them and trying to convince them or wake them up. Because he goes, what happens? He goes, think about when we talk about, if somebody wants you to change something or somebody wants you to do something and you're not ready for it, it sounds like want, 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 want in your ears. And he's like, and that doesn't do anybody any good. That just creates more frustration for you, right? And more frustration for everybody else. So he says, put the focus back on yourself. And he says the other thing too is, we call it our soul's journey and our awakening because it is our process. And he says, don't forget that you are the only one that is responsible for you. And that's the hard part. When, that's what a lot of us do, Erik says, is when we've not been woken up or we've been walking asleep through our life, we've been avoiding responsibility in many ways. So whether we've been blaming other people for our feelings and blaming other people for what we've been going through, then when we realize it really is all of our responsibility, it really is on us. And he says, and the awakening process is a time to take alone time. Take time to process your own information. Take time to understand it yourself. Because he says it's also a distraction when you're trying to, say, teach it to somebody else, or you're trying to spread all this information to everybody around you and get them on the same page as you. And he's like, well, first of all, you don't know where that person's supposed to be at or what they're supposed to be doing. He says you can really only do that for yourself. And so what if they're okay where they're at right in that moment? Because that's where they're meant to be, whether that be for their process or the interaction with you and the contract that you have with them. So he says, always bring it back to yourself. And he says, the other thing too, is he says, another tip is, he says, be discerning the information. So, there might be times where you do share something or you do have a conversation with somebody, but he says, be discerning about the information. So if you're with somebody that's really in a completely different vibration than you, whether they, have very strict beliefs themselves, he says, don't get into a battle with anybody. Don't feel that you need to sit down and start debating things with somebody, because he says that, again, it's not really about that. He says, and that is going to create more resistance. So he says, really think about, where is the path of least resistance? If the path of least resistance is in having a conversation about the weather and about what so-and-so's kid did last week or whatever, if that's where your conversation and the best communication is, then go with that. He says, keep the other stuff for yourself. Keep the other stuff to be with other people that can have those conversations with you, that can support those. And he says, and that brings me to the next thing, which is, create yourself a good support system. So if you don't have somebody that's in your household or you don't have somebody who's face-to-face with you, go online. Join a support group. He goes, there's tons of groups. There's tons of groups on Facebook, Channeling Erik. He's like, there's all these different platforms that are created for you to get to know people that have minded souls that are in similar places, that are learning similar pieces of information on your timeline. So he says, put your focus in there. The other thing is he's got his clipboard out. He's going down his clipboard. And he says, another thing is to let go of expectations, guys. He says, so just as much as you want others to allow you to be where you're at and to do what you're doing, he goes, have that same for other people. Because he said, if you have an expectation that, I can't stand being around Aunt Kathy, she's this way and this way and this way, and she's really, really negative. And he says, well, what if you had the expectation that wasn't the way she was? Or you could start to look at ways that you could appreciate that person. So he says, practice appreciating others. Appreciating he goes, you might need to sit down and make a list about all the good things about this person instead of focusing on the negative things. There's other things you can do, like you can talk to somebody's higher self, and you can write them a letter. Write their higher self a letter. You don't have to give it to them, but he says that communication is taking place, and we are all connected, so that connection will do good. It will do whatever it needs to do on a spiritual level. But the other thing, too, is he says, don't be afraid to limit time with people, too, that if you really do find that you're pulled down into a negative place with certain people, he goes, be discerning, because that's what this is all about. You have your own free will to decide where, who, and when you're going to put your time and your energy. And he says if you've got somebody that really is, say super critical, or they're not kind to you, he says, well, then obviously you don't want to spend time around that person. But he goes, sometimes you have the ability where you can just, if it's somebody that you have to, whether it's for obligations or family obligations, he's like, sometimes you do. But remember, he says, this is about you. This is about your choice and your happiness. And if there's a lot of resistance in being around somebody for one reason or another, limit it. Limit it to do that. Yeah. He says just because you're family doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't mean you have to. Yeah.
Yes.
What else, Erik? He's asking you if you have any questions, Mom.
No, I don't. I'm not smart enough to have any questions to ask. I'm kidding. But maybe not. I have news. Lucas found a place of his own, guys. I'm so happy. Sad.
Oh, wow.
He's got to go drop my puppy, his puppies, but my puppies, off before work, take care of his fish tank, go to work, come back and pick up. And now he can go find himself a girlfriend, because nobody wants to, look for a girlfriend. Hey, come on to my friend's place after we have dinner. So, guys, let's hope we might get this guy, this awesome, beautiful, handsome, soulful, spiritual man who has an incredible future career-wise. We might actually get him married off. Yay. So, I don't know why I went there, but today it happened, and we're going to go celebrate tomorrow. So he's begging around for plates and cups and sheets and stuff because, unfortunately we gave it to our other kids who have already moved out, so we're going to just scrounge around, and he's going to have to do some begging for like stuff. He's going to be pretty much living on a mattress and a prayer for now, and out of paper cups.
Wow.
He's used many, many times. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good
news.
Awesome. And also,
awesome.
The other announcement, too, and I'm sure lots of people read this on the YouTube or on the blog and also in the Facebook group, with Erik's Hour of Enlightenment being in the top 20 Enlightenment podcasts in Welt magazine. It's very exciting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's awesome. Isn't it awesome? Yeah. Erik, Michelle, you guys, you made it happen. And all the other mediums who have contributed, all the guests who have contributed. I'm so grateful to all of you guys.
Yes.
I'm so grateful
Everybody,
for being a voice.
We all did this together. Awesome.
Anything else? Any messages for your little brother, Erik?
He says this is a big step in, he says, putting on the big boy pants, and he means step into this next chapter of his life. And this seems to be that step that is going into a relationship, because getting a place, he showed him, he's being silly, but he showed him like in a smoking jacket, come back to my dad. Come back to my place.
No, he is very respectful and sweet with he loves women. So affectionate.
Yes.
Well, you met him. He is very sweet.
He is.
God,
He is very, very sweet.
I mean, he would be. Oh my God! He's awesome. All right. Well, that's not play, Lucas. But for now, we will go. Are you ready for callers?
Yes, Erik says, let's go, Mom. Let's go. We're ready.
Okay, let me get to the studio board here. I have one person who just lost a son that I really need to let her on first. And I hope I can find her here. Is that her? Yes. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi there. This is Margot, right?
Yes, this is she.
Hi, Margot, and so glad you called in. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
You bet. Well, I told you that you and I and others are part of the most unenviable club in the world, losing a child. And there's to me, I'm sorry, but there's nothing worse that could happen to a human being. Even losing my own would have been better than losing Erik. And so I know the pain. And boy, I tell you, I was in a deep, dark place for many, many years. So I just want to really take care of you, Margot, and I just feel a kinship to you. So I'm going to start.
Thank you.
Oh. Michelle, is there any way you can bring Julian forward for Margot? Margot, right? Is it okay if I say Margot?
Yes, my name is Margot. Yes.
Okay.
And Julian
was my son.
Or Julian?
Julian.
Okay. Did Julian pass recently, Margot?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And was this sudden?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I can feel his energy. So he's coming up behind me, which is he's standing right behind you. You might be able to feel something on your shoulders because he's putting his hands right up by my shoulders, which is indicating that theme to you.
Lose a kid. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Everything's physics, okay? So vibrational frequency gets very low after you lose a child.
Mm-hmm.
So, and their frequency is so high that it's so hard for them to drop it down to a place where you can feel it. All right, let's give a lesson to everybody. And I'm sorry, I should not interrupt William, but this is super important. Okay,
Margot,
go ahead.
Were you reading some letters recently?
Yes, I actually was just before the show.
Okay, because I'm asking him to share, because the very first thing that he said is, I love you, I'm right with you, and I asked him if he could share something like to connect with you, and he's showing me letters, reading letters. So it's just signifying that he's right there with you, wanting you to know that he's right there with you. Was he tall?
Yes, he was.
Okay, because I can feel him like over top the back of me. And again, this is when they show me this is how he's standing with you. So it's like he's leaning himself right over, like he might hug you from behind, like with his head right over top of you. Was his passing, was it an accident?
See, that's just it. We don't know if it was truly an accident or he was. That's the thing. Homicide has to confirm it, and they haven't confirmed that just yet.
Okay. Let me see here. Because I'll tell you, like he's giving me the question because he goes with accident. And did somebody say to you that it was self-inflicted, or did somebody suggest something like that to you?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Because like he's showing one thing or the other, but he keeps going with accident, it being an accident or something that if somebody else was involved, It wasn't purposeful. Like it's something that took place that wasn't intent. The intent wasn't there.
How did he
if
die?
That makes sense.
How did he die? Or if you don't say, that's fine.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Margaret, how did he die? I want to say fine. I'm wondering if it was if it's a homicide or if it's or something like that.
There was an altercation at a restaurant / bar, and it was taken outside with a group of guys. Well, my son was with the group of guys, and this one guy had a gun, and he started shooting, and he shot my son behind the head. But we don't know if it was by accident or he was just shooting in the air because somebody else got shot, but they lived.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that because I'll just confirm to you because what he gave me was I was getting the sensations in my head, but what he showed me was this is something that didn't have the intent, meaning that it started out as one thing, like we're not going to kill him, but it got out of control.
Right.
And so even though they didn't, it was an accident, but whoever shot him is still responsible for his death.
Right. Of course. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, Margot,
I'm so sorry. He's got a lot of love for you, and I've got to tell you, he's going to be around you trying to get your attention. And through this whole process, he wants to let you know that he's right by your side.
Let me ask a couple of things that I know a mother would want to know. Did he suffer?
Yes.
No, he says it was like a shock. He said it happened very quick.
No pain?
It happened so fast. No. He says no time for pain.
Is he happy?
No time for pain. He is, but he says that he feels a responsibility to be with his family. So it's like saying like he's focused. Is he happy? Yes. He says he's free of stability. It wasn't that he was unhappy, but he just said that free of burden, free of any burden.
Is there anything that he can provide me to show me, like, was he with us last week on Tuesday morning? And if he was, what did he see?
Are you saying yes? He's communicating with me right through my heart chakra. He's saying yes. And does this have something to do with seeing a bird?
Well, no, I've been seeing birds, like cardinals and stuff, but I mean, yeah, I did see one on Tuesday too, actually, but there was something special that happened on Tuesday, and I'm wondering, did he see us? Was he there, and what did he see?
That might be too validating. I mean, I really don't want to.
It's a little. It's not that, because I do get the yes, and what he's showing me is the birds. Sometimes it's not that they don't want to answer that question, but sometimes the specifics in there can be hard to get, and it has a lot to do with where the current energy is too, or there might be a reason why that's not coming through me, and it might be something that gets validated through you yourself.
Well, I think that probably would be good is for you to book an appointment with Michelle. But anyway, I hope that gives you some closure. You can call next week if you want, and we'll do some more. I probably need to get to some other callers, but my prayers.
Okay.
And Margot, I got your back.
Thank you.
If you ever need anything, you know I'm here for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Mom, stick together.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm so glad you called in. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You bet. Oh, I just when a mother calls in, it's always
I know it's so hard, and there's a lot of different emotions that come in there, and as a medium too, you have that real desire to want to provide that information.
And you're a mother too, and that's very difficult.
Oh yeah.
But extremely specific, validating information is very difficult because there's so much expectation around it. It's such a big, dense energy.
Yeah.
All right, we got somebody from 614 area code. Hi, how are you? Are you there? 614 area code. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? What you got for us?
My husband does not believe in life after death or spirituality or Erik. And so I was trying to get him, telling him different things to get him to understand and believe. But he said if Erik could answer a specific question he just said if Erik could tell him the date of his bar mitzvah.
No, God, that is way too. We were just talking about that. Too much. Listen, everything is physics, okay? If you want to email me, I can send you a document of so much evidence that it will make your head spin. We're talking about audio professionals analyzing his EVPs. We're talking about photo experts analyzing certain things. But boy, that's I don't think it's expectation is way.
And here's the thing too, and Erik is saying this to you is, and for anybody else too, because this is important to understand, is that it's vibrational, just like Elisa was saying. It's all vibrational. When you have an expectation on something, what you're doing is you're creating, when there's all of these different roadways to bring information in or to bring validation one way or another, when you want something very specific and you say to yourself, and that's what will make me believe, then you close off every roadway and you give this tiny little pipe. Now, here's the thing, too, is even if, let's say, that information came through, Erik says that wouldn't solve him believing or not. That wouldn't give it. That might make him in the moment go, oh, holy crap. But it would create doubt in some way that there was some other reason why that happened. And this is part of his experience to go through that. And he says, and just like we talked about earlier, it's not your job to convince him of it. He says, do you believe? What do you believe?
Totally, I do. Totally.
Right, right.
I get what you're saying because it's very lonely to live with somebody who does not have the same belief. It's awful.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I think you need to just prank this guy's ass. Prank him.
That's what he just said. He goes, don't worry. He says he's got a ticket, like he's got a number. So Erik will make his round.
Erik, tell us about her husband. Tell us about, what's his first name?
His name is Merle. And
what?
Elisa, Merle, Mery.
Merle, are you Barb? Is this Barb?
Yes, this is Barb.
What?
Yes.
All right.
Barbo.
What did he want to say about Merle, Erik?
Well, he says that Merle's a little bit stubborn. He says he's a little bit stubborn. Does Merle have something going on with his kidneys?
Not that I know of.
Does he have diabetes?
I do.
Oh, you have diabetes. Okay. I was picking up on diabetes. Does Merle have a brother in spirit?
No.
A brotherly
friend? There's a brotherly energy. There's an energy here that feels connected to Merle. And it could be a close friend with somebody that was killed in an accident. Not necessarily like a car accident, but some kind of accident.
Not that I know of.
Well, maybe you need to ask him. Maybe there's something. Maybe he was a kid when this happened. You never know.
Ask him if there was somebody, and we're not talking recently. We're talking maybe
A long time.
15, 20 years ago. In that time that was killed in an accident connected to work.
He can't even remember yesterday, let alone 15 years.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay, well, I think our only hope is for Erik to make himself known and to really give him a thanks.
Or can Erik get a message from his mother? Or something his mother is saying?
Oh, what's his mother's first name?
Molly.
Molly. Rosenfeld. Oh, Molly said the last name. Okay, Molly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what we got here. The thing that his mother is bringing forward is a dog.
Okay. I don't know who that dog would be.
Did he have a dog when he was a kid?
No.
Connected to a dog? But she's bringing forward a little dog.
She had a dog when she was a kid.
Oh.
She had a dog.
All right, Molly, come on. Bring us something better.
She's so stubborn, she probably won't even.
Well, I got to tell you, the energy of being stubborn, because here's part of what I'm picking up on. And you see, when there's the vibration of that evidence and that expectation that pinches it off. And that's what feels very pinched off, because I can get this stubbornness very, very clear. I can get like a feeling of, I don't know if she had cancer when she passed.
I think she did.
Mm-hmm. I pick up some of that, but getting her specific details, it doesn't, just feels a little bit pinched off.
Is that because of Merle's expectations, or because
it's because of Merle. It's because of Merle. Because I'm picking up more about Barb than I am about Merle. More about Barb and how she feels and what's going on with her.
Well, Barb, if you want, just remind me, just email me, and I'll send you that document I was telling you about, and maybe he'll read it, maybe he won't. Does he have some cognitive impairment? Is that what you're saying?
Does he have what? What?
You're saying he won't remember or whatever. Does he have cognitive issues?
No, he does. He hasn't been diagnosed with anything like that, but he really can't. He really can't remember things. I mean, if I ask him something about what did you do this yesterday or what did you do, he's like, I don't remember.
Wow. Well, I mean, maybe he has some cognitive issues that need to be addressed. Can you get his doctor to look into that, right? Because, I mean, it's amazing how many people, for example, have pernicious anemia, vitamin B12 deficiency, who have dementia that can be cured with once a month vitamin B12 shot. It's amazing how many causes of dementia are so easy to treat. So you have to be very careful not to ignore it. And I'm talking from my doctor hat, with my doctor hat on.
Yeah.
There are so many causes of dementia or forgetfulness, not just dementia, but cognitive impairment that are easy to take care of, and it's a shame to not. So, you probably need to talk to, or he needs to talk to his doctor and find out. And get a good workup, blood test, etc. I mean, I can help you with that. I can tell you what he needs to have done, etc. Just to make sure.
Is stubbornness. He won't.
Well, Barb, I'm just going to tell you because they keep going back and showing me kidneys with him. So with getting his sugar tested, because it is picking up on him.
Can't you do it like you go to the doctor or else? You ain't getting nothing for a long time?
I didn't catch it, what you said.
Can't you sort of, like me, I said to my husband, who did not want to get his 50-year-old, this was a while ago, colonoscopy. I said, okay, till you do, I'm not going to get any mammograms. Can't you pull that one on him? Like you go to your doctor, or I don't know, or you can almost use the old women thing of you ain't getting nothing until this is done.
He doesn't get nothing much anyway.
I know. My poor husband can agree with that. But all right. So
Elisa, you just finished doing the scalar.
Yes. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So maybe it helps something.
It took a long time on him, girl. Oh my God. So now it makes a lot of sense. It makes so much sense now. But okay, you and I need to keep in touch. I mean it. I mean seriously. So I need to give you this document, which you will remind me of, and I need to help you figure out a way to get him evaluated. There's no coincidence of why you were nudged here for not just spiritual reasons, but perhaps medical reasons too. So we need to really turn things around for you guys. Okay.
I appreciate it, and I think I need to be talking to you because I need to bring some jovial laughter to you to lighten your load.
And you have the history to do that. I know.
I'm a professional clown, and
I know. Love that. I love that.
Wow.
And
I want to send you one of I have a clown card line, and I wanted to send you one. So do you have a post office box or anything like that I could send it to you?
Email me. I'll give you my address. I won't do it on the radio show, but yeah.
Okay.
And you know, it just hit me, and I think I channeled it. Michelle can verify. I'm going to do when I can afford when I have enough money, I want to do the spiritual online school for kids. And I think laughter, comedy, etc., it would be awesome if you could be in charge of that. Of course, you would be paid, etc. But wouldn't that, I think the spiritual aspects of humor, of laughter, of learning how to lighten up and all that.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
What's Erik saying about that? What's Erik saying about that?
Yeah, Erik has his clown shoes on and his red nose.
Oh my God!
He's got a little squirty flower, like one of the little squirty flowers. He says yes.
Yeah, good. All right, so you and Barb, we're tied to the hip for a while. Okay, you know that, right? Sorry.
Oh, good. I love you. I love Erik. I love Michelle. I love everybody.
Thanks, Barb. We love you too.
We love you too, darling. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Contact me, please. I only recently started talking to her, but I don't know. I mean, I get this special energy from her. I really do. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
I need people like that in my life, and she's one of them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got somebody in the 415 area code. Are you one of the people who I need in my life? I'm just kidding. Of course you are. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
It's my first time listening to you guys and first time calling.
Oh, God. I apologize. Erik is a rascal. Oh, you'll never be the same, girl. But okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Good.
All right.
I have like an either or. I'd either would just take a general message, or if you're able to channel my dog who just passed a couple weeks ago.
Oh, God.
Oh, your doggy.
Yeah, let's do both of them. Come on. Let's go for it.
Okay, well, let's see here. Is this a little doggy?
Yes.
Oh.
Lighter colored?
No, he's black.
He's black?
Maybe something else.
Did you ever have a little lighter colored dog? A small one?
Or somebody
I think they were all black. I had a rabbit many years ago for a short time that was brown and white, maybe, or something. Mm-hmm. I don't remember that.
No. What's maybe your dog's name?
Magic.
Oh. Magic. Okay. Oh. Did Magic, I've got something in the chest area. Did you put Magic down, or was there something going on in the heart area?
He actually, he had a heart attack in the middle of the night, and I was with him, so I'm grateful for that, but That's what happened.
Okay.
So heart, for sure heart, yeah.
Heart, yeah, right in the chest. Okay. Eric's going to help link him in here. So this isn't a small dog. This is like we're not talking Chihuahua. This is a little bit bigger than that.
I guess he's like in between small and medium. I don't know how you would, yeah.
I'm looking at, I'm being shown the same size as my dog, and I've got a Jacobitapoo, which is like a poodle cross. She's like she's a smaller dog, but not teeny tiny. And what I'm being shown is like a dog that runs really fast around the room. Like I can see the dog going in circles. The one thing that Erik is sharing with me is that magic passing has to do with some changes in your life. And they're changes that may not have come up quite yet. I don't know if there's change in residence or there's something that's happening. Are you moving?
I'm getting ready to move, and you're right about those comments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because magic is coming back in your life, first of all, is what
I know. So
yeah,
I'm a medium too, by the way, but it's nice to hear somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah, so
good.
I told him I'm preparing for him to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just to tell you that he is. He's having a good old time running around and getting ready for the next stage. But to give you a chance to get yourself settled into the next stage in your life as well.
So what about a general message for her as a medium or anything?
Sure. No, well, that's where we were headed. That's exactly what Erik was saying, because Erik says you are coming into some changes in your mediumship or in your with service. So whatever it is that you're doing right now is ready to expand. And have you thought of writing?
Yes. So I'm a healer and a psychic and a medium and a bunch of other things. And I write books. And one of his last requests from me was I was writing the story about because a few months prior I brought him back to life. And it became very clear after I had done that, I was like, oh, so you want to be an author too. So I'm going to publish that book for him. Yeah. It's very sweet. Yeah.
So that's going to do very well. And there's a lot of healing in that for other people too. There's and Erik is just saying it's full of magic.
Yeah.
Full of magic. Yeah.
So Erik, or I should say to you, are you going to try to channel Erik? He's kind of easy to channel because he's got a very specific rascally energy about him.
He does, and I don't. So have you met Erik before? Because Erik is claiming you, like saying hi, like putting himself right up in your face. And if you've ever seen Erik's face, you'll never forget it when you see him come right up in front of you, face to face. Do you know who Erik is?
I don't. I mean, I've seen it posted on Blog Talk a bunch of times, but
All right, go to channelingerik.com.
Yeah.
And you'll see his
he's putting his face right up to yours. like either you've seen him or you're about to see him right up to your face, because he's saying like in your face, like you're opening up and he's ready to do something with you in expansion. And I would imagine in a few months that we're going to hear back from you, and it's going to be about your story with Erik.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he often works with up-and-coming mediums. He usually nudges them to places like this, and works with them to help them hone their skill and to get out there and be large and in charge. And maybe that's what he's doing with you.
He wants more people to find you. He wants more people to find you. He's trying to get your name so that you can be more accessible, because he's talking about your healing work and your writing. And he says that there's a lot that you experienced that more than what people realize. Very helpful.
That's very healing.
So go to Healing Erik, check out his pictures, and try to connect with him and get back to us, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I was just there while I was on hold, waiting for you guys. And, it's interesting that you bring up about the mediumship, because that has always just been sort of like an added bonus that my clients would get when they speak with me. And it wasn't really of connecting with their past loved ones, but it's more like angels and guides and things like that. And I've had passing thoughts, and especially with my dog passing, I said, I wonder if I would deliver messages for people with their pets passing, or do something in the mediumship. And I had this message like a couple of years ago. Someone said, "Yeah, you're gonna start doing more mediumship stuff," and I was like, I don't even know what that's about, because I can't really say it's like so much of an interest to me. It's just I can feel my ancestors. I speak to my ancestors. Like it's just there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you're picking up anything around that.
We'll have her give you some. Erik, give her some direction, and then we'll go on to the next caller real quick.
Yeah, he says this is you actually are already doing it. So he said just pay attention to when you said fleeting thoughts. He says now connect with intention. So use the intention, and he says you can practice with him, because like reading about him, getting to know his vibe, and just looking at his picture. He says connect with me, and you'll start to get information. He says it's no different than connecting with magic.
Right.
It's no different.
All right. Well, please tell him thank you for helping me get out with more popularity with the healing and the writing, because that is one of my intentions.
He's sticking with you. He says that he's got your back. He'll help you, because he says that this is going to be he says when you said that, it's not really anything you thought about, or really, he goes, well, this is part of your natural evolution. So it'll feel really good. Just keep going, keep open.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
I apologize in advance for whatever rascaliness he sends your way. But it's fun. Just hold on to your seatbelt.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Because he can be a handful. I know from experience. All right. Got somebody from the 914 area code. Hi there. How you doing?
Hi. Good. Thank you. How are you?
Well, we're great.
Hi.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for taking my call. First of all, I really appreciate it.
Oh, we're happy to have you, sweetie. We're happy to have you. How can we help you?
I have a question. I'm kind of speaking with this guy and trying to see what it is exactly, if it's friendship, if it's work, or if it's romantic. And it's funny because his name is Erik also.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be interesting to ask if Erik could see anything on the Erik.
What's your first name?
Catherine.
Catherine. All right, what you got?
Catherine and Erik. Well, Erik says, Catherine and Erik sitting in a tree. KRSSIND.
That came to me too. Oh my God, the same song. I must have channeled it. Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's exactly it. That's exactly yeah. So he said, yeah, change is coming, and he's talking about. He's actually showing this because we're it's a full moon or an eclipse or something. There's something that's happening energetically today, tomorrow, and he says that this is aligning with this next chapter in your life, and that this is bringing relationship towards you. And so he says, have fun with it. He says to relax. He also says that this is somebody that's aligned with you. So you've been wanting somebody or hoping for somebody?
Yes.
Yeah. He says there's parts of this guy that you will get to know that seem very familiar to you. It's like another counterpart of you. So there's something very similar, whether it's your interests and it's not yet been revealed.
We do have similar interests, but you're saying something more as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, go for it. Go for it.
Ah.
You're going to invite us to the wedding, aren't you?
Of course. Wow.
All right. Thanks for coming. All right, so here we got somebody from the 914 area code. Then we got 3 minutes left, so can you make it quick? Hi there. Anybody home?
Hello.
Hi. How you doing? Hey, you're on.
Hello.
Hi there.
I think
What's for it?
That's me talking, Michelle.
Oh, that's you. Anybody home? Anybody there?
I think they're not here.
914 area code. Okay. You lose your snooze. Sorry. Okay, 925 area code. What you got for us?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
This is Angela, the one with the reptilians.
Hey. Oh, okay.
Oh, hey. The Eyes of an Empath channel.
Yeah. Do you have anything to ask before we close?
Well, I did, but you guys, you guys only have 3 minutes. I just want to, it was funny that, okay, anyway, just want to tell you thank you for all that you're doing. And, I was going to ask if I had a message, but it's kind of late now, isn't it?
No.
Well,
pitch it off, Erik.
Go ahead now to see what we can do.
Okay, I was going to say anyone, but I think you get bombarded. So let's just ask if Bill or Wilma has a message. My mom or dad.
Oh.
Hey, mom or dad.
Wait, what's your first name?
Angela.
Oh, yeah, Angela, of course. Okay, got it. Sorry.
Dreams, they're saying hi. You must be able to hear them, or you're communicating with them, because they're talking about dreams and having more communication, like it's bigger communication, because they're saying like visits, big visits and talking. They're validating that with you.
That's good. I haven't had that in a long time. So,
yes,
and they grow things for me all the time.
Yeah, yes. And they're your biggest cheerleaders, they say.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything else that they can share that's even more specific, or that's pretty good though?
Did
any advice from them, for example?
Did your dad used to use a walker or a wheelchair?
Yes.
Because he took it and tossed it aside. I'm strutting. He's moving really well, so he's letting. That's his way of saying I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Yeah.
They're quite happy. I'm on a walker.
What?
Oh, you're on a walker.
Yeah,
well,
I wonder
then.
if he knows that because he was.
Yeah.
He was on a he wasn't on a walker, and that's what I kept saying. I'm like, I don't know why you didn't use a walker. He tried to use crutches, and the walker could have. I mean, I'd like walk backwards on the walker.
Well, maybe you and I need to talk about taking care of you.
I have a feeling that you're not going to need that walker.
Yeah, me too. I mean, so
because he's tossing it
you've
aside.
already done the age reversal, and we've done the portal work, and we've already like gotten rid of like at least 3 energies that keep coming back, and contract work. I mean, and then these reptilians, those lovely, all those 55 hours that were on my ass.
Well, maybe I need to do
your dad's just a dancing, so he's showing it for you. Yeah.
All right.
We'll
figure it out, girl. I'll do other things if you need it. Okay, don't worry about it.
Oh,
I got you.
Thanks.
We'll get you totally free and clear of any walker. All right, thank you guys for joining our show.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Lori.
Angela, talk to me later, okay? All right, love
you
y'all.
Okay, thank you, Michelle and Eric and everybody.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Eric said love y'all. Love you, Mama.
Angie
guys are part of this.
Angie B. Eric calls you Angie B. All right,
oh
so
my
thank
God.
you.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Angie B. All right, so thank
you guys
you,
are
Michelle.
part of the
Eric.
spiritual
I love
mafia
you.
now. All right,
love
I love
you.
you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye.
and it's back to the she shed for us. Love you guys.
Bye.